Alright, I wanted to give a quick look around my garage arcade. I haven't done this in quite a while. I think the last time I did a video like this was like 2 years ago, or maybe 2.5 years ago, but not a lot has changed. I've only got one game since then, but I've since had all of the games turned off and pressed sideways storage style in the garage, and now have just gotten them all back out and working again. So I'm just going to go from left to right now. First game is a Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting Edition. In my opinion, it was the best edition that came out. It was the most balanced, and it was before they just started adding tons of extra characters. It's in a Dynamo HS9 cabinet. Painted it as close as I could get to the big blue color, just because I like that color scheme. Had to kind of hack a control panel overlay to make it fit on the control panel in here, but came out real nice, and it's a chance to play, I think, the best two-player competitive game there is. Next up, Smash TV. Another 25-inch monitor cabinet. The only game I haven't really done anything to in terms of restoring. It's in pretty good shape. It has a few nicks and scratches here and there, but it plays real good and looks real good. I do have the Total Carnage board in there also, switchable with a little button that's right here. You just press it and it swaps over to Total Carnage. In my opinion, probably the best two-player cooperative game. I really like it. Next up, 720, of course, the focal point of my collection. First game I got in 2001. I only ever intended to have this one game, but as so many people find out, this hobby just snowballs and you just keep getting more and more. It's a great game. I still love playing it. I've been playing it a lot more recently, trying to get back into high score shape. Probably the only game I would say that I've ever heard of that will be re-restored at some point. I restored it in 2002. Really had no idea what I was doing. It came out really nice. I was happy with it, but I just painted the sides, and there's several things I would do differently. So I will probably tear this down again, completely re-restore it, do the vinyl, and do everything kind of the right way, put the right coin door in there and everything else. So next up, Discs of Tron. I basically just got this because I like the idea of the two games next to each other. It's why I wanted to get the upright instead of the environmental version, and space is a concern obviously with that. I haven't fully restored it. I have the side art, but the side art's pretty good on this one. I may do that someday. I cleaned it up quite a bit, new T-molding, and painted the front. It's got a new control panel overlay and buttons, the reproduction plastics here, and a reproduced translite in there, so the picture looks real good. Fun game. I did add the speech function from the environmental also, so it's in good shape, and it has free play with the little device called the Coin Up, which I have another video on YouTube about that if you're curious. Tron, my third game. Love having it. It's one of the greatest games just because of the light and the way it looks in an arcade, the classic sounds. It was one of my favorites from back in the day. I played it a lot at Disneyland. It was the first game I really fully restored, tearing down completely, repainted it, came out pretty nice. New plastics, everything else. Really fun game. Has the free play ROM hack. Next up, Punch-Out, the only game I've added since doing one of these videos. Another one that just this last summer I completely tore down the cabinet, completely re-restored it, painted the sides, new art, cleaned everything up. I redid the control panel overlay, added a Super Punch-Out joystick, and the ducking pull sticker here. It is really a double Punch-Out right now. I have the Super Punch-Out board in there, and it's switchable just by pushing the left blow button and the knockout blow button together, and it boots to Super Punch-Out, and push them again, back to Punch-Out. So pretty happy with it. At some point I'm toying with the idea of adding arm wrestling so I can switch between all three games, but haven't worked out how the controls will work out on that yet. Have a couple ideas. Next up is Pac-Man. Got this as a Pac-Man Plus, another game I completely re-restored, tore down the whole cabinet, sanded everything, repainted it, did the full stencil artwork on the sides. It came out really nice, and is the first and last time I'll ever do full stencil artwork because it was a grueling job. But I have a 60-in-1 in here right now with this custom 60-in-1 control panel. Basically just got this because of the idea of wanting to play the classics and people coming over, and inevitably everyone asks to play Galaga. So Galaga, Donkey Kong, Frogger, all of those, and why not put it in the most classic cabinet you can find, and that's Pac-Man. Next up, Quantum. One of the games I don't remember playing back in the day, but I played at California Extreme and just really liked it, and then found out it was a super rare game. It was going to be tough to find, and over a long saga of like a year and a half, I pieced this cabinet together from different sources, and it's now together. It's not fully restored, but it looks really nice. I have the reproduction side art, which I may put on at some point, and added the light up trackball here, but it works real good. And last but not least, Star Wars. It was my second game, and at that point I only intended to have 2. Got this Star Wars. It was in really, really nice shape. The cabinet's in great shape, so I didn't have to do a whole lot to it. I rebuilt the joystick. It does have the Empire Strikes Back kit in it also, switchable with a little button right here. And it swaps over to Empire. So pretty happy with the collection right now. That's what I got around the edge of the garage, and as you can see, I'm pretty much completely out of room. There's not room on the other side of my garage, so if I was going to ever get anything else, I'd have to completely rearrange or wait until I move and have a bigger space. But I don't have any plans or anything else I'd like to add right now. Pretty happy with the collection. And that is it.